Boys, welcome back to the channel. Gentlemen, in this video, we are going over how to literally turn your Instagram into a bankroll machine. Start printing bread. Okay, a lot of you might be in the situation right now where you've been trying to do this, it hasn't been working, or you're barely starting from scratch. And so I'm going to get into all of it and how you can really start converting and turning this into a cash cow. Okay, so the first thing is the blueprint on what you've actually been doing right now and why it hasn't been working. Okay, so you might be approaching Instagram right now as you're just trying to check off a box. Like if you are creating content right now, the reason your content hasn't been working is because, okay, you're like, all right, I gotta post this video for today, and you'll just go make something shitty and try to literally check it off for the day. So there's no intent behind it, there's no passion behind it, there's no strategy, vision, all the roadmap to what you're actually doing, and that's why it's fucking garbage. That's why you're garbage at the moment, because again, all of those things are leading to no success. On top of that, you're doubling down on what doesn't work, right? A lot of you are posting content and you might find yourself in this situation where you're not making money and you continue to post the same kind of content. It's like you're delusional at that point, right? I always give the example of like, dude, if you're going to college right now, or you're living the life that most are living and you're like, yeah, bro, I want to be rich, I want this, I want that, but you're doing the same thing as everybody else, it's like you're not going to end up at a different destination. You're going the same way in the same route that everybody else is. And so understand, a lot of you are doubling down on what's not working, and you continue to do so. You're not changing anything. And so, of course, nothing's going to change. The next thing is, this is more so just a concept where, guys, every piece of content you post is a lottery ticket. I want you to think of every reel has the potential to go ultra viral. Literally, you could be going on one day from nobody knowing you at all to the next where you are a fucking celebrity. The best example that I wrote down here is Haley Welsh. If you guys know who she is, she's the Hawk 2 girl. In short, blew up like crazy. She didn't even post the video. She got interviewed on one of these street interviews. I think she was out clubbing, and then in that, it went ultra viral. In short, she's made over $1 million after this video went viral. She's been getting booked to go to events, getting paid $30,000 to dinners, birthdays. I think they're doing a series on her now in Hollywood, all these different things, all because of the video. So understanding the potential here and why posting is so important. Now, how are you going to want to actually approach content itself? This is the most important thing when it comes to making all of this work, understanding that your content is the marketing. Content is what's going to allow you to put yourself out there. And so this is why there needs to be heavy focus on this. Now, when it comes to content working, I think there's two things that really make it work. It's quantity and quality. I'll explain the difference. So if you are posting like a lot of quantity, so you're just posting a lot, but there's no quality behind it, meaning it's not valuable, you're just posting a lot to try and get yourself out there, like it's shit content. And so no wonder shit content is not going to work, it's not going to hit, it's not going to blow up, because you're just posting a lot of garbage. Now, on the other hand, you could be making really good content, like really valuable content. You could be using an expensive camera, editing, color grading, all these things. But if you're only posting once a month, you're not posting enough. And so it's really a combination of these two things that make content work. It's like, yes, you're going to want to post often, and you're going to want to post good stuff often, okay? Now, the other thing that's really heavy in content is you need to be constantly reviewing your performance, because, again, if you're posting a bunch of garbage, you won't know it's garbage until you really look and understand that it's garbage. And so if a certain style and video is not hitting, adapt. Like if you're constantly just posting videos where you're yapping to the camera, this, that, and you notice it's not bringing you any clients, it's not converting, nobody's buying your products, nobody's getting interested, it's no traffic is generated, dude, adapt. Throw that in the garbage and now try hitting it from a different angle, a different style, whatever it is that you have to do to make it work. But the reason you haven't is because you don't realize that it's not working. And so in review, will you do that? Next thing when it comes to content is you are a creator. And so there needs to be creativity. a lot of you might be just taking this approach as this is a business and I just have to do this thing because it's a part of the business, when it's not like that, bro. Being a creator comes with letting creativity flow, getting in that flow state so that the things you do produce are like, damn, you know, they're nice. They're, damn, this is unique. I've never seen this before. And so you have to approach this as like, dude, you have the opportunity here to really portray yourself online, to really express yourself in creative ways, which leads me to the last point, which is a lot of you guys are going on Instagram right now, and because there's no creativity involved into what you're doing, you just look like every fucking other Instagram guru. You look like every other Instagram coach or Instagram guy that sells a course, whatever it is, because there's no creativity in what you're doing. You're reiterating what hundreds of other guys have said online. It's like, dude, of course you're not going to stand out. Of course you're not going to sell anything. You just look like another one of those fucking guys. And so that's the huge part in understanding content, okay? Now, virality. Now, when it comes to me in specific, guys, I've done over 100 million views on Instagram and TikTok. I've built a following of over 500,000 people. I have one of my just most liked reels. You can see you got 1.2 million likes, 163,000 shares. I believe this video got 22 million views or something like that. So I know what the fuck I'm talking about, okay? I've done very well with this and just doing this for the past 4.5 years. The goal of content is to get views and convert views. If you didn't understand that concept already, that's the point of content, okay? It isn't to do this or do that. The goal is to get enough eyeballs to your page and get enough of those eyeballs to actually pay you, to get interested in what you're selling, okay? And so a lot of you guys will like point out the obvious sometimes, where you'll say, oh, but Brandon, if we make valuable content, we know it doesn't need to go viral because we're selling high ticket, and so we only need one guy to purchase from us to make a lot of money. It's true, but won't a viral video get us more eyeballs and more views? No shit. Okay, a lot of you need to stop pointing out the obvious. Going viral is, of course, what we're aiming for, but more so understanding that converting is what matters most. If you post, there's two types of content. If you post a really, really viral piece of content, but you're noticing it's not bringing you any money, and you post this other kind of video and you notice it brings you money, which one should you more so focus on? You should focus on combining the two, because the goal is to both go viral and convert at the same time. Or you post this video, goes viral, and in correlation to that, you also have this kind of video, and so all of those people that see your page come across this other shit you've been posting or whatever, and then now that leads to them gaining interest and converting, right? And so in the simple understanding of the more views, the better. This is free marketing. We focus on organic through posting this free content, okay? Now, a great way to go viral is whatever's trending in the space you're in, copy it, put your own little twist on it. Also, randomly being creative. This is how I was able to go ultra viral, create my own trend, literally create my own persona, something that can never be recreated again, is I just started posting random things. It took me 3 months of posting 3 times a day before my before the most viral video I've ever posted hit. It got 12 million views. Before that, I had a couple videos get like 250,000 views, 500,000 views, but it wasn't until 3 months did I really have one blow up. And it's not even this one. Originally it was titled, "So I Took My Russian Cousin to the Gym," and then I did some shit over there, right? Now, after you do that, right, after something goes viral, or you're in review and you're like, damn, this did very, very well, what do? You do it again. You double down on what's been working, because this should be very simple for you to understand, because you've been doubling down on what hasn't been working, right? And so when something hits, do it fucking again. If it has to be word for word, do it again. If it has to be literally the same exact video, do it again. Okay, it's what I did. This is what allowed me to hit the snowball effect where things just started going crazy. When my first video went viral, literally the next day, made the same exact video, got another 10 million views, got another 20 million views after that, and then I kept going. There was a week on TikTok where I grew 100,000 followers because I doubled down on what worked. I understood what the people wanted to see. I was just in review, and understand this performs, I'm going to do this. Okay, there was a whole month where I really focused on just hitting these kind of videos, and in that month was I trending on the fucking For You page. Literally every single video that I posted, if it was like every 3 days for a whole month, 10 million views, 15 million views, 12 million views, 4 million views for a whole month straight. And it's literally in review, in doubling down on what was working, okay? And this is what allowed me to build the following that I have of 500,000 people. This is what allowed me to get 100 million views, okay? It's a very, very, very important concept. And then with this, what will also happen, and what happened for me, is you will start to adapt. You will start to see the shifts. For example, the very first video that blew up for me, I don't even really make that kind of specific content anymore, right? You can see how it's changed. The first video was, so I took my Russian cousin to the gym, and then I started going to different places. So I took my Russian cousin to the restaurant, to this place, whatever. Now it was more so my Russian cousin saw it was snowing. And then even now, there's a sound where it's like, there was a man in Russia long ago, he was big and strong, and his eyes were flaming glow, right? And so in that shift, in that adapting, those videos perform very, very well now. I'll post one of those, get 100,000 views on Instagram like it's nothing, even millions of views. And it's in adapting, in review, in randomly being creative again, trying different things, utilizing different points that are trending in the space that will literally allow you to go viral. It's not that hard to go viral, believe me. I've done it so many times with different points, bro. Like I have videos where I ask people, yo, do I look better with short hair or with long hair? And that's gotten 250,000 views. Like, going viral is not hard. You just have to understand these concepts, okay? Now, when it comes to Instagram, when it comes to the content you perform, when it comes to building your business and putting this all together, a big thing we've been taught in school is that you can't plagiarize. Listen, bro, in this world of business, in this world, it's a very cold world. You can plagiarize like a motherfucker, okay? You don't have to invent the wheel, just improve upon the wheel, okay? So there's a great story I want to tell you real quick. Is there was a guy, he was swimming, and he was trying to discover new things or something like that in short, and he thought he discovered new waters because nobody was there. In short, there were a lot of people that have already gone there. They just drowned and died because there were shark-infested waters or there was no food. And he thought he discovered this new thing. It's like, no, it's actually very hard to discover something new or create this thing that's never been created before. You have a better chance of just going somewhere where you know it's sustainable, where there's food because other people are there, where there's proof of concept. And so always understanding that you don't have to go out and create something new. You don't have to go discover something that's never been done before. You just have to improve upon it. Go somewhere, do something that's been done, and make it better, okay? Now, the next thing is the approach I see a lot of people taking on Instagram is the brand is you. It's not the business. You are the business. And so if you're in a certain space, all you might be doing is focusing on this and posting about this, when in reality, dude, you are what make this work. This is not what makes you work, right? And so you might have the two things switch where the forefront of your business is like fitness, and then you just so happen to be there, when it needs to be the other way around. The forefront of the business is you, and then fitness just so happens to be there. This is what's going to allow you to play the long-term game and really have this work, because don't forget that people are buying into you and your brand a lot of the time. They're not buying just whatever it is that you're selling. They're buying into you. And so, that will only happen by you being you, understanding you are the business, and then everything else after that. Now, with that, as the plagiarizing, and as I said, you don't need to invent the wheel, improve upon it. Guys, go out, find things that you see working, if it's certain systems, if it's certain styles online that you enjoy, again, and reverse engineer them. Literally, if you resonate with something, you're like, damn, I really like the way this is put together, take it, reverse engineer it, make it work for yourself. In you doing it, does it automatically make it unique and authentic because only one of you exists? And so you have the ability to do that. The best example I can give to you is Uber Eats and DoorDash. If you think about the two companies, if you know what these two guys or what these two companies are stemmed from, it's Uber Eats, delivery food service, DoorDash, delivery food service. How is it that they both do the same fucking thing and it works? And that's literally my point, is you can do something that's been done and still make it very, very successful. Now, how are you going to want to approach this entire thing in these points right here? The first thing is you're going to want to be in constant review of the content, as the examples I gave earlier. This is what's going to allow you to perform. This is what's going to allow you to fucking catch the snowball effect, to know if what you're doing is working, if it's in line, all of those things. The next is you're going to want to make a content strategy schedule. It's going to help you stay consistent in all these things. For myself, it's 1 reel a day. You can even go up to like 2, 3, 4, even 5 reels a day, as long I want you to refer back to what I said at the beginning of this video, is you're not sacrificing huge amounts of quality, because if you post a bunch of garbage, it's going to perform garbage, right? Next thing is now 3 stories a day. Why is this important? Once you've gotten all of the attention and people have followed you, now the way they're going to consistently interact with you and consistently be involved is through your stories. Okay, this is where your followers get to see you on a consistent basis, and so the more the better. For myself, I just try to do a minimum 3. You can do 5, you can do 10 a day. The more the better. This should just be you taking pictures randomly throughout the day, sharing with your followers what you are doing. Q&As are also a great way to approach this entire thing. What this is going to allow you to do is have interaction between you and your followers and them consistently being involved. On top of that, it's going to give you more insight into what people are wondering about of you. And if a lot of people have a certain question and the same question, then you know those are maybe certain topics you should talk about, leverage and all those things. And then another great tool to utilize, like consistent schedules for specific activities. What I mean is, if you have like a certain day where you know you always record this certain type of video, like, hey guys, it's Mondays, I always record a day in the life on Monday, for example. A thing I used to do way back 2 years ago is, I think it was every Friday, I used to record like a Brandon talk. I don't remember what I called it in specific, but every Friday I would sit on Instagram and record like a 3, 4, 5 minute video and post it, where I just reviewed something I thought of for the day. And so that gives your followers something to look forward to, something to consistently expect from you, so they know, again, that they can expect that. It gives them something to look forward to, okay? Now, the content itself, the way you're going to want to approach that, there's a couple different ways you can approach content. These are kind of the best ones from my notice, from what I've noticed. Lifestyle content is huge. The reason this performs so well is because I want you to think about the lifestyle that most aren't living is boring. The lifestyle that the very few are living is very interesting. And so in my specific scenario, like you guys can see kind of like the view I have from my place. It's a very nice view, this and that. Most people don't get this kind of view. And so if 99% of people aren't living the kind of life they want, and really only 1% of dudes have access to leveraging lifestyle content because it's literally their lifestyle, what do you think it's going to do? It's going to attract a bunch of people, right? Because again, there's scarcity in the lifestyle, and in scarcity is there a bunch of demand. The next thing is B-roll content. B-roll content performs very well. This is content where you're speaking you're speaking, and then on the screen there's a bunch of different pieces of content coming out, maybe some text on those B-roll screens. It's also a huge tool to utilize that I've seen perform very well for others, for myself, and what you'll notice is trending. And on top of that, again, the approach of trending content that we went over in the previous slide, with all those tools you can utilize. Now, for finding inspiration to make videos about, there's 2 main things that I do. The first thing is on Instagram, if I'm scrolling and I get inspired or a certain thought comes to mind, you can save an Instagram post. So if you click on the 3 dots on the bottom right, if you save the piece of content, you can even create your own folder. And then all of a sudden, throughout the day, if I'm scrolling and I see like 3 topics that it brings up to my mind, that I'm like, dude, that'd be a great thing to talk about, or again, it brought up something, I can just save all of those to that folder. And then over time, now what you'll see is I have like a huge folder of just a bunch of saved content that have great points that I remember I wanted to speak about. So that's the first way. The second way to really grab inspiration is throughout the day, if you're driving, whenever you're doing anything, if there's a certain topic that just comes to mind because you saw something or whatever it is, jot it down in your notes. I'll show you guys what mine looks like. For example, I have a page right here just filled with literal ideas every time I think of something when I'm out, and I just do that through my notes. So those are two great ways to save some inspiration that you might have seen in something you want to talk about in your content and to create content. Now, what's going to be the easiest way for you to take all of this and stay consistent? Number one, planning. Again, if you create a content schedule, you know exactly what you need to do, how much of it, all these things. Is it going to be way easier for you? I always say have a content day where you really go out, maybe plan going to like a nice coffee shop, bro, if you're trying to create some lifestyle content and you don't necessarily live the lifestyle yet. Like, dude, go to an expensive coffee shop in your city, record yourself there, go to, I don't know, somewhere, car show, whatever it is, for you to record some content, have a whole day of that where you go out, take pictures. What this is going to allow you to do is stack up a bunch of content in one day so that you don't have to create like brand new content consistently for the whole week. Like you have one day where you're making all your content for the week, and then it'll just save you time every other day to focus on different parts in the business. Another way to stay consistent is save sounds. This is a huge tool I utilize. Like you're saving these ideas and these inspirations, you can also save sounds on Instagram. And so whenever you want to post something, you can save trending sounds, you can save sounds you really like, and in that will just make you easier to post content because you have all of that stacked in one place. The next thing is a review day. This is going to be huge to you staying consistent. Why? Because in review, do you figure out if certain things are working, if you need to adapt, if you need to improvise, if you need to change, if you need to hit things at a different angle, style, whatever it is. And in that, will you start to see more progression? And in more progression, is it always easier to stay consistent? Like when you're making money, it's easier to keep doing it. When you're broke, like if and nothing's working for you, it's hard because nothing's working. It seems like all the work you're doing is just going to waste. And so that's why you're always going to want to have a review day at least once a week or once every 2 weeks is kind of what I do, because especially with the amount of content I post, it's great. It gives me enough runtime to really look at what's working and what's not working, eliminate, and vice versa. The next thing is for you to actually start converting some bread, and I'll get into this on the next slide, is you're going to want a call to action at least twice a week. These are like bigger call to actions. If you're not familiar with it, what a call to action is, a CTA, all that is you're calling your audience to do something. So you're shouting out your offer, whatever it is that you're selling, letting people know that it exists, and you're going to want to do that again twice a week. Now, how do you actually convert? How do you actually like make money now that you understand the entire approach? How are you going to make bread off this? You're going to do exactly this, okay? Understand now that you've gotten the attention, you've captured it, people are now going to be engaged with you, as I mentioned earlier, in your stories. This is where they're going to see what you're doing on a consistent basis and really get to know you day to day. So in that, you're going to want a call to action on your story a lot of the time. Here is the best way to approach a call to action to what you're selling, okay? The first thing is connect. You're either going to want to understand who you are selling to, what they're currently going through, so like the pain points, or I always like to take the approach of like, I'm talking to myself 4 years ago in the position I was in, and that's how you'll connect, really build that connection. The second thing you want to utilize is proof, testimony, guys, having other people praise your work, or just showing people in some way, shape, or form what you do actually works. The third thing is process. A lot of the times you can utilize this in telling people, okay, yeah, this is exactly what we're going to take you through, or this is exactly the process that's set up in how this works, all those kind of things. And then urgency is also very, very important, because urgency really calls somebody to get off of the fucking couch and get moving is the best way to put that. In creating urgency, like pretending, I mean, I don't want to say pretending, but like you having a sale go on right now, or, you know, this thing that you're selling is only for a limited amount of time, or whatever it is, for people to understand that this is only available for this amount of time, so I have to take action now if I've been interested. Like, creating urgency is huge. There's a lot of ways to create urgency, but those 4 steps really make a great call to action. I also have a deep dive into CTAs on my brand new 10K mastery program that I'm going to be releasing here within the like week or two, where it dives into how to consistently do this so people don't actually get annoyed of you consistently asking them to do things. But that will be coming out in like a week or two. And then there's also a deep dive into all of these subjects heavily onto really creating a personal brand and monetizing it. There's like 20 to 40 minute long videos and all these, but again, that won't be coming out for the next week or two. On top of that, understanding the importance of review. As I said earlier, review is really what's going to allow you to stay consistent. It's going to allow you to see what's working, improvising. You understand that by now. And then consistently marketing is what's going to allow you to make money, to actually convert to bread. Why? I want you to think of how many times you had to see something before you bought it in your own life. Literally, reverse engineer how you're being sold, okay? And then pay attention and do it, apply it to your own business. So a lot of people think if you're releasing a product or you're doing this, you're doing that, that you just have to shout it out once and that's it. No, you need to be consistently letting people know what you're selling, bro, what you're offering. You don't get into the mindset, oh, people are going to get annoyed of this. No, bro, the point of your Instagram is to turn it into a cash machine and to turn it into bankroll. And the only way you're going to do that is by consistently letting people know what you're posting. That's why I said call to action like twice a week on whatever, if it's a free training, if it's to work with you, if it's whatever it is you're selling. Consistently be marketing. Think about, again, how many times it took you to see something before you bought it. I know for myself, it takes multiple times, right? People need to get to know you. A lot of the times they say it's like 7 hours worth of content people have to consume before they buy from you. And bro, when somebody just sees that you're doing this, either doing this, they go down this funnel, whatever it is, they might be sitting on the sidelines. And then who knows, maybe that one CTA you posted finally tips them over because you've mentioned something that they were like, wow, that was so true, whatever it is. So consistently be marketing. Eventually you will buy, eventually they will buy it, right? So boys, hopefully you took some value from this. You literally have like a great way to approach Instagram and turning this into a bankroll machine, really start making some bread. With that being said, as I mentioned, I have a brand new 10K mastery program that's going to be dropping within the next week or two, reasonably probably in the next 2 weeks. I've put together like a whole website and everything. Don't have a wait list or anything, but what I'm thinking to do is have the first 50 spots be 50% off. So it's something you're interested in. You guys can DM me on Instagram, really just finalizing all of that, putting it all together. As well as I have a free training down below and a free brotherhood where we literally it's built around these concepts, building your brand, monetizing your audience. You got nothing to lose. It's completely free to join. Goes over some great information in there as well. And on top of that, if you want to work with me directly one-to-one on monetizing your audience, building your brand, again, you can do it. It's the first link in the description. As always, boys, I love you. Hopefully you took some value, and I'll see you guys in the next video.